Rain City is a point-and-click adventure game where you play as a cat looking for his missing sister, a reporter whom vanished in a city that seems cursed with eternal rain, hence the game's name, Rain City. After gathering some clues at his sister's hotel room, our brotherly cat deducts the answer to his sister's disappearance lies at a mysterious factory that she was writing an article about. Apparently, this factory is also responsible for many of the city's problems, yet has a solid grip on the place and its citizens. Safe to say they don't like visitors snooping around, so getting inside will prove to be quite a hassle, taking our furry friend to various locations in the rainy city, meeting several of its locals and solving a bunch of head-scratching puzzles along the way. Despite the game's art being reminiscent of a children's book, it's clearly aimed at a more mature audience. While not containing any real swearing, violence or gore, I doubt the overall depressing vibe of the game would appeal to many children. The first few puzzles are pretty easy and straightforward, but quickly kick up a notch, making them quite challenging. Oh yeah, and there's a rabbit that smokes. The story is pretty straightforward as well. Your mission is to save your sister from a rather ominous looking factory of an even more ominous mining corporation that's been excavating under the city for reasons that are never clearly explained in the game. Aside from the fact a lot of bad things like the weird rain and overall decay of the town and its residents is blamed on the factory, none of it is actually proven during the playthrough. It would have been nice if this was more included in the story, as it would add more to the storytelling aside from the generic big capitalistic corporation is bad scenario. You do meet some immigrant miners that are being exploited, but it came off as a bit of a wokeness injected in there, but it's only touched upon briefly. In general, the story is pretty basic and, like I said before, straightforward, but it contains at least one twist which was decently executed. The art style, visuals and music are where this game truly shines the most. The somewhat childish yet detailed art style blends strangely well with the somber music and gloomy atmosphere. The game as a whole is pretty short if you detract the time you'll be spending on trying to solve several puzzles, but I bought this on the PlayStation Store for about €10, so you can't really expect an epic saga. I really enjoyed the visual style of the game, which clashed with the overall somber and slightly nihilistic atmosphere, which made it an interesting mix that blended well. The biggest downside is the lack of lore you're giving during your playthrough. I feel the story along with some of the characters you meet could have been fleshed out a lot more, which would have added a lot more to the game. It's a short, decent game that you should try out if you like puzzles or games with a different visual direction.